Hey everyone, just following up from my last video about external validation. And I noticed somebody has put a comment on the YouTube feed. And actually it's a really good comment that's worth sort of expanding on more. And they've put, good video. I wonder though, I mean, if I apply for a job, I need the validation of the employer, right? So how to actually do this in the real world? I think it's worth sort of saying that there's a distinction between needing validation and doing everything we possibly can to get validation, including going against what we really feel is right and true, going against our highest version of ourselves, and just getting validation for being who we really are. And I think a lot of the time we walk around through life basically believing that who we are, as we are, warts and all, is somehow faulty, is somehow not good enough. And so we put on a mask. We put on a mask of acceptability as a way of trying to get approval or trying to get a job or whatever else it might be. And it's coming from this idea that somehow we aren't good enough as we are. And yet what I have seen time and time again, and I will admit that this is an ongoing process and journey for me, but what I have seen is the more I stop trying to be something that I'm not, the more I own every aspect of who I am, warts and all, even the bits that are really, sometimes I have judgments about, the more I start to bring into my field things that are in alignment with who I am. So it could be that you go for a job interview and you just are being your authentic expression of who you are, just not trying to be something you're not, just being real. And that job doesn't resonate with the employer and they go, no, you're not fit for me. And what we then tend to do is go, oh my God, there's not going to be something that's right for me out there. I'm not going to be able to cope. I'm not going to be able to find another job. And the mind goes into this lack kind of program. And the lack program looks like, you know, unless we do something to better ourselves, unless we do something to appear in a certain way, we will not be liked. We will not have a job. We will not be okay, etc., etc. And what I'm pointing to is the more we recognize that actually we have peace being who we are, and the more we allow that to show up in the world, the more we start to bring into our life what is in alignment with that. I have so many examples. I mean, I ran a whole course on this at one point called Shine Your Light, and it was all about dispelling the myth that actually we had to be something more than what we just are. And, you know, it went on for several weeks. Maybe I'll run it again at some point. But I think it's really worth seeing, you know, is it true that if we just allow ourselves to be as we are, our authentic expression of ourselves without trying to be something else, is it true that we won't be liked? Is it true that we won't get a job? Is it true that we won't be able to earn a living? Fill in the blanks. Is it true that we won't, you know, have a relationship, whatever it might be? Because that's what the mind will try and teach you. And experience tells me that actually it works the other way. The more we settle down into the peace that is there before we try and put on a mask, and the more we allow the expression of that into the world, the more we seem to attract work that is in alignment with who we are, people that are in alignment with who we are, friends, relationships, whatever it might be, seem to come into our life that are a match for who we are, much better than when we're trying to be something that we're not. So I put that on the table. I appreciate that's a 4.5 minute kind of take on something that I ran an entire program on, but hopefully that gives some food for thought. Anyway, thank you for the feedback and the question. That was really cool. Take care. Bye.